This is News with the Disney Dude. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel for more content, and please hit that thumbs up if you like the video. Coming up in a second is the news. I do want to apologize for not keeping up to date with these news shows. I got really busy. And then my body decided, you're gonna catch a cold. So I've been fighting a cold. So I couldn't do Monday's show because I couldn't even talk. So luckily I my voice is back now. And the same goes with Friday. I was just starting to feel a little bad. But that's why Friday I got really busy. Either that or I closed. I can't remember. But that's why I didn't have a Monday show, was because I couldn't even talk. So I do apologize for this. But now that that's out of the way, let's get to the news. So now, without further ado, let's get to the news for Wednesday, September 10th of 2025. 2025 Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party merch is now available to all guests. So, whether you decide to attend the party or not, you can now pick up any of the merchandise that's available. There's spirit jerseys and all kinds of stuff you can go pick up. So even if you're not attending the party, you can at least pick up your merchandise, and it's available at the Emporium at the Magic Kingdom. Walt Disney World files water basin permit for affordable housing project. So they've been talking about this for a while now. Walt Disney World has decided to help with the current situation of people. They're deciding to build affordable housing. Whether that'll be affordable or not, just remains to be seen. But it is nice that they are doing this. It is nice that they are, building affordable houses in their vicinity. Gonzo has been removed from Muppet Vision Clock Tower, and the sign for Muppet Vision 3D has been covered. So it's slowly but surely they're knocking things off, and the theater's gonna stay. The theater will be there. They're not gonna bulldoze that building. That's gonna be reused for some kind of Monsters Inc. show, which I don't know. I have no idea. But work is progressing on this Monsters Inc. themed area, which I'm not thrilled about, but what are you gonna do? Special Magic Band tap style effects have returned to Walt Disney World, to all of the Walt Disney World resorts. So if if you're an annual pass holder and you have a magnet, you tap it into the turnstile, makes noise, and away you go. I haven't been there to experience it myself. But at least that that's That's back. New ghost takes up residence in haunted mansion as hidden Mickey shroud gets a glow up. So, in the if you don't know about this, in the graveyard, there are like two ghosts toward the end of the ride. There are two trees that are in the shape of ghosts. They have their branches are they're placed like arms. They've got little eyeballs that light up. So they have now updated. They've updated that effect. It looks. I haven't been on it yet, but it looks brighter. It looks fantastic. And it's nice that they put in a hidden Mickey there, which is really cool. Which is a really cool idea. So Haunted Mansion getting some love. So we can it's not really a new ghost, but I know people are like since they added the Hatbox Ghost, they're like, well, does that mean that he's the 1000th the 1000th resident in the Haunted Mansion? Or whenever they do something new to the Haunted Mansion, they people get upset, or people get kind of like they get kind of defensive about it. Do I like the Hatbox Ghost in the current position? No. He shouldn't be there. But that's where they decided to put him. Why they put him there, I don't know. But that wasn't my decision to make. But at least it is nice that these rides at Walt Disney World get love and attention, because they usually don't. They just they may close for refurbs every now and then, but like adding effects, adding characters, adding like in the case of It's a Small World, adding the new verse at the end of the ride. Walt Disney World usually doesn't get that attention. It doesn't get that attention. So I'm really, really happy that Walt Disney World's finally getting some love and attention. And it's the same thing with Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress. They're going to add the Walt Disney audio animatronic at the beginning. Are they going to update the finale? We don't know. I would hope, but I'm just going to have to wait and see. But they're putting cars in Frontierland, which I know someone's going to fight me on that one. But they're adding cars, they're adding villains. Indiana Jones is replacing Dinosaur, but Zootopia is replacing the tree of It's Tough to Be a Bug, which I'm not thrilled about. Monsters Inc. is replacing Muppets and Muppets Courtyard, Muppet Vision 3D, which I'm not thrilled with either. But most of these projects I really like. I am so excited for that Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress update. I am really, really happy. Even if they don't update the finale, I'm glad that we're getting a Walt audio animatronic here at Walt Disney World, because the further away we get from Walt Disney's death and his life and the people that worked with him, the more the man becomes a myth. And especially here at Walt Disney World, because the majority of guests are tourists. They don't know who Walt Disney is. They just know his name on the brand. So it's nice to have, anything connected with Walt in the parks is great. Which is why we must continue to have Haunted Mansion, why we must continue to have Pirates of the Caribbean, why, It's a Small World, the Hall of Presidents, Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress. That's why, the Country Bear Musical Jamboree, that's why we need to have those things be in the park forever. They must stay forever, because they are connected with Walt. And the further away we get from, with more people around Walt that worked with Walt passes away, the more the man becomes a myth. And it's, we really need, things like this Walt Disney audio animatronic in the park, in the parks to help, say to people that are not, geeks and fanboys like us, that it's like, yes, he was a real person. He was a real person. He did these wonderful animated films. He built this wonderful organization. He built Disneyland. He wanted to build Walt Disney World. He wanted to build Epcot. So that's the Disneyland crowd gets it because that was Walt's park. So they get it. Walt Disney was connected to that park. Walt Disney World, he never got to see. Because unfortunately his life was cut too short. So, that's why at Walt Disney World we need things, to help explain to people that, that Walt Disney was not just a myth, but he was a man. So, I am really, really excited for, these, the update, the Carousel of Progress and such like that. So that's where I was going on with this tangent. I'm sorry I went off on that, but, but the gist of my long-winded speech was, Walt Disney World is finally getting love, which is great, which is absolutely fantastic. If you want to argue certain things, we can do that, but you can't deny that Walt Disney World was really overdue for love and care. Was really, really overdue. So I'm happy. I'm happy about, some of the things that's going in. Jazzy holiday reservations are opening soon for Jollywood Nights, the after-hours event at Disney's the Christmas event, the Christmas after-hours event at Hollywood Studios. It's going to be available beginning September 16th. So you can. So in the Brown Derby, they do the Jazzy Holidays, where they have festive food and drinks and music and such like that. So you'll be able to book your reservation on September 16th. Epcot theme park entrance gates return. We don't really know why they disappeared. I mean, I guess maybe, we don't know if it's because people, that they were afraid that people were going to sneak in to the park. Maybe they were just refurbishing these gates. We have really no idea. So, if anyone knows that, let me, comment on this video, because I would like to know. I really have no idea. Okay, but it is nice that they're back. Restaurant Marrakesh sign has been removed from Epcot. So, in the Morocco Pavilion, they usually have a great big sign. It's a circular sign that says Restaurant Marrakesh. That sign has been removed. We are going to assume that it is a refurbishment of the sign. So, don't, nobody freak out, nobody panic. It's, it's just a refurb. It's just a refurbishment of this sign. Because, newsflash, this is Florida. These signs get, weathered a lot. So, they need to be kept up to date, up to snuff, up to code. So, but nobody freak out. It's just a refurb. Great. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is going to celebrate September 21st again, and the only song that will be played on that day will be September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's great. I don't really like Cosmic Rewind. It's just not my thing. I don't really like roller coasters, but, man, I would, love to, if it didn't spin, then I'd be fine with it. The backwards launch is not my favorite thing either, but if it didn't, spin around, I'd go on it more, but it's just too much spinning for me. But, man, I would love to go on there just to hear that song, because that's actually my favorite song. That's my favorite song from this attraction. A new permit reveals Grand Floridian entrance changes are coming. What does this mean? I don't know. But they are working a lot on Grand Floridian. The lobby is being updated. The bird cages have been removed. All kinds of work going on at the Grand Floridian. Because of all this work, the gingerbread houses will not be returning again this year, which is really kind of sad, but I get it at the same time. But, what will these changes bring? I don't know. I really have no idea. Disney's Blizzard Beach is now closed for their seasonal refurbishment. So, now you can only enjoy Typhoon Lagoon at this time, since Blizzard Beach is closed. When Blizzard Beach reopens, we're going to assume that Typhoon Lagoon goes down for their refurbishment, or will they keep it open? I don't know. I really have no idea. They've decided to bring back the water parks, operating them simultaneously. But I don't know the dates for that. But who knows? Are they gonna just, keep when one closes, the other one opens, and then when that one opens, the other one, closes. Are they gonna keep that? Maybe, I don't know. And our last story is Zootopia Better Zoogether sign has been installed at Disney's Animal Kingdom. So we now have, we know the opening date for that. November, what is it? I don't have it in front of me, but I believe it's the 7th. I believe it's November 7th is the opening day of that. So they want to get everything ready and everything. The sign's been installed. And I'm pretty sure that probably a lot of work has been completed in the queue and inside the theater. I'm not really excited about that show. Not really, looking forward to it. If I see it and it changes my mind, then I'll let you know. Okay? Then I'll be the first one to tell you, I was wrong. The show was good. But I don't know. Just gonna have to wait and see. We're just gonna have to wait. I really don't know. So, but there you are. There's your news. Again, I apologize for not doing any shows for a while. I appreciate your patience with me. I was busy and then I got sick. I may or may not do a show on Friday. I am going to Disney's Hollywood Studios, so if Fantasmic goes on, I believe the show is at 8:30, be over at 9, I'll probably be home a little after 10. I may or may not have a show, it just depends. So, if not, then if I don't have a show on Friday, then I will see you on Monday. So, but I thank you guys very much for watching this video. You guys have a great rest of your day. Keep each other safe and healthy. And remember that tomorrow is just a dream away.